Father.
You know the hadith when Bilal ibn Rabah, who did who talks about doing wudu and doing the salah after it. Some people argue that he did it out of his own accord, and it wasn't an established sunnah. Then they say that this is a
the wudu sunnah.
No, yes, the wudu.
Two rak'ah after the wudu.
Yeah, and then Prophet saw him in Jannah. I've heard some argument, like some people say that.
So he's saying that this person who's saying that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam
didn't approve of it before. He did it before Prophet ﷺ actually commanded it. So that then it becomes a bid'ah hasana.
So they're arguing what? Is it good to do it or not to do it?
No, they argue that this is
based upon the bid'ah hasana. Okay.
Yes, for bid'ah hasana.
Alright. So how can we know that whatever you do is a bid'ah hasana? How can we know that whatever you do is a bid'ah hasana? First of all, bid'ah hasana. There's nothing called in Islam bid'ah hasana, because the Prophet ﷺ in every khutbah he ascends the pulpit, he says وَكُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَكُلُّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. Every innovation is a misguidance, and every misguidance in the hellfire. And the word every in Arabic, every, but this person said not every, yeah. But the Prophet says every. So I can't understand Arabic language if he doesn't every كُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ. Number two, he says that, you see, Bilal ibn Abi Rabah, he did something which the Prophet of Allah did not do, or did not say, and then he has done it with his own accord, so that means it's supposed to be bid'ah al-hasan. This is an important thing, an issue. I would say, what if he did something now? Who is going to approve whether it's you're saying right or wrong? You know, if you understand what is the meaning of the sunnah and the definition of the sunnah, I don't think you will come up to this conclusion. The sunnah of the Prophet of Allah, it is what has been revealed from him. Action, saying, and approvals. Again, action, sayings, and approvals. Saying and actions, that is whatever he says, whatever he acts. Approval, he saw something from the companions and he approved it. Because if he did not approve it, it will not become the sunnah. So the companions, when they used to do something, either they will tell the Prophet of Allah about it, or Allah will tell the Prophet of Allah about it, or they will come to tell the Messenger of Allah about it. So either the Messenger of Allah come to know about it, or they will tell him, or Allah will tell him about it. And then either you will approve it or not approve it. For example, we find that the Prophet ﷺ, when he went to do the Hajj, he used to do the talbiyah. His talbiyah was one of the two. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك. And the other talbiyah was لبيك إله الحق لبيك إله الحق. The companions used to say talbiyahs again to add لبيك ذا الفواضل لبيك وسعديك والخير بيديك والرغباء إليك والعمل لبيك رغبة إليك ورهبة منك. They used to say, and the Prophet of Allah used to be what? Quiet. He said approval. So this became as well, based upon it, that's alhamdulillah sunnah. Even though they did not have an authority to do it and say it, but they are in front of the Prophet of Allah. But when he does not approve it, then he will stop it. So one day the Prophet of Allah, he passed by those women who were making a song for a wedding, like poetry. So they were saying, أتيناكم أتينا, and then became and وفينا نبي يعلم ما في غد. Oh, we got a prophet who knows what is in tomorrow. He said, stop it, I don't approve that. For verily, I don't know what is in tomorrow, but say what you used to say before. That is all these words, but as long as you don't say something which is like, I know what is in the ghaib, I don't know what's in the ghaib. So if the Prophet ﷺ approved something, then it becomes what? From the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So remember that the religion after the death of the Prophet of Allah is sealed. So there is no after in religion. And no one can say, well, I could do something and it could do an act or saying and saying, because if you're going to open this door, you're going to have different religions. So one person came to me, he said to me, you know, if your baby cries, Allah recites Surah Al-Rahman. I said, why are you saying this, brother? He said, you know, I recite Surah Al-Rahman when my baby cries, Al-Rahman, Allama Al-Quran. He started sleeping. I said, what about if he recites Surah Al-Baqarah, he does not sleep? What about if he recites Surah Al-Imran, he does not sleep? What are you talking about? Are you making me shara here? Are you a prophet? Did you receive revelation? So the people know, brother, you got crying baby? Rahman. Where is the Prophet to approve that? See what I mean? So the door is closed. When the Prophet died, it's closed. So those people, they are using something which is, they don't know the definition of the Sunnah. If they knew the definition of the Sunnah, they will not come to this conclusion. Okay? So where is the Prophet to approve that? Now people will come to us and say, well, I have a dream that, in the prayer, instead of making, for example, 2 sajda, 3 sajda. So, so it's a bit of hasana, good hasana. Make it 4 sajda. Make it 6 sajda. Who's going to stop you? So we say, Prophet ﷺ said, Man amila amala laysa alayhi amruna fahuwa rad. He who doesn't act, which hasn't been approved by us, it will be rejected. So at the time of the companion, when they used to do something, and if the Prophet of Allah approved it, it's part of the religion. If he did not approve it, it's not part of the religion. If it was silent, the Prophet of Allah did not do anything. فَهُوَ عَفْوٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a concession. Like what? Like, for example, the companions talked about when they approach their wives, they used to isolate. So when they come outside. So they said, كُنَّا نَعْزِلْ وَالْقُرْآنُ يَنْزِلْ. We used to detach ourselves from the wife. That means when we want to approach our wife, we make the consummation, but we don't really ejaculate inside. So ejaculate outside. Now the Qur'an was revealed. So that if that was impermissible, the Qur'an would have come and said, this is haram, not to do it. So they have used that this is a proof that it's allowed. Because if it's not allowed, Allah would send a verse to say, you're not allowed to do it. You have to ejaculate inside. You understand that? It's called azl. So this is what is being pardoned. So whatever is not being mentioned, and it was at the time of the Prophet of Allah, then it is pardon. Don't ask about it, it's pardon. Because if it was not right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say it. That woman, she came to the Prophet of Allah complaining about her husband. Next to her is Aisha. She said, I can't hear any words. But Allah from above 7 heavens, قَدْ سَمِعَ Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had heard that woman, tashtaki. That is the one, Mujadila. That is Surah Al-Mujadala. The one who was arguing about her husband. Allah have they heard? So those people, they do something Allah will know about it. So these people, I would say they are actually trying to sleep into the graveyard and have nightmares. So advise them not to sleep in the graveyard. Otherwise they'll have nightmares. Okay? So that's an advice for them. And bid'ah hasana is not really there. Last thing I'm going to ask you yourself, guys, what did you do for the solar eclipse in this masjid?
Prayed.
So you prayed 2 rakah.
2 rakah, but I just mention something.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I'm asking the question, you're not asking it. I gave you a chance. Right. So you prayed the 2 rakah. Did you sight the eclipse?
No.
Did you see the eclipse outside? I'm asking, guys, you're just being quiet.
It was cloudy.
No,
You couldn't
it was-
see it.
So how can you pray eclipse without seeing the eclipse? MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So you are praying according to what? The astrologers. The astronomist. Astronomist. Calculation. How do you fast your Ramadan? Based upon sighting? Or fighting? Or based upon seeing? Or based upon calculation? Which one? I want to know. When you sight. So how can you say that there is an eclipse and we did not see it? Yet there's a live link up. Could see it on the internet. That's in different cities there. I saw it myself. I was in Bedford. It was much clear.
Yeah.
How can you pray here? You can't. And this is the sunnah, you have to learn it. If somebody doesn't teach you the sunnah, you have to learn that sunnah. We cannot make the eclipse play until we see the eclipse. And the eclipse has to be something that the people, not aware, and it happens, and it's a sign for fear. It's not a sign for joy. Did you have the fear? Nobody has the fear. It's like becoming like picnic day. Oh, inshallah, eclipse, come and pray. It is a sign that Allah makes you scared. This is something that is amazing. I was talking to my brother today. It's 1 in a billion times you're going to get this. You're going to get the size of the moon, exactly the size of the sun in terms of blocking it. It's impossible. Can't be coincidence. Allah makes this to pass like this to show you His signs, to make you scared. The Prophet of Allah was scared. So he's not waiting for the eclipse to take place. When it takes place, he has to go worry and go and pray. You heard about the eclipse prayer, but have you heard about the earthquake prayer? Have you? Have you heard about it? No, you haven't. It's called Salatul al-Asbah. That is, Anas radiallahu anh prayed it when he was in Bilad al-Sham. There was no earthquake in the Arabian Peninsula. When he was in Bilad al-Sham, there was an earthquake. Straight away he runs to the prayer. There's a prayer. You see these things and run because it's scary. So it's not something we're waiting for the eclipse. We want to see it. Let's bring our goggles and look at it. And subhanallah, this is something to be scared of, and the people looking for it. I want to have it. This is the moment of the Day of Judgment. So when the Prophet of Allah had it in his time, what happened? He left the house running, and he took the clothes of his wife. He did not take his own cloak. His wife sent him the cloak of his. She said, "You take my clothes. Take your cloak." So she took her clothes back, and she'd given him a cloak. That's how fast he was rushing. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he prayed, and he was scared. But people, they're not scared these days. Oh, solar system, yeah, how come? Subhanallah. They're not feeling the impact of this verse. And then he says after the khutbah, this is a sign that Allah scares the people with. For but it does not take place because somebody's people had a death in their life, because Ibrahim died on the same day, which is the son of the Prophet of Allah. That is not because Allah passes death upon a person or Allah gives birth to a person. It takes place because Allah wants to remind the people to fear Him, to be scared of Him. Had it been that we are in a Muslim country, we should not announce about these things. That is, we will just be doing our jobs and everything. And if it happens, the masjid will be called Salatul Jami'ah, come to the prayer, come to the prayer. But because we're not living in a Muslim country, that's why we tolerate the announcement. But the announcement should be the last 3-4 days. But people now, they're prepared for it, they're looking forward for it. Subhanallah. Something that you be scared of, and they're looking forward for it. And you find people coming to the eclipse prayer, you've never seen them in the normal prayer. Or you must have seen them, but they don't come to the Dhuhr and the Asr and the Maghrib. They come to the eclipse prayer, subhanallah, which is more important. Dhuhr and Asr or the eclipse prayer. I don't understand that. I don't understand this. You'll find them if they come, they go, something strange. The prayer of it is, as I said, this is because we are seeing something as a sign that scares him off. We are going to the prayer. The Prophet of Allah, he said, when something had happened in the sky, Man yuqidu sawahib al-hujarat. Who's going to wake up the inhabitants of the dwellers, which is the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, wake them up. That is something came from the khaza'in Allah Azza wa Jal. So we need to rush to Allah because of this sign of the fear of Allah. Now the eclipse prayer consists of 2 rak'ah. Each rak'ah consists of 2 ruku'. Each ruku' consists of Fatiha and a surah. So it's supposed to be 4 Fatihas being recited in the 2 rak'ah. So Fatiha, surah, ruku', long ruku', Sami Allah ibn Hamid, long dua, Fatiha, surah, and long ruku', and then Sami Allah ibn Hamid, long dua, and then sujood, long sujood. Then the second rak'ah, the same thing. 4 Fatihas, 4 ruku'as, 4 surahs. Or surah which is long, it could be divided. It has to be the same length, almost the same length of what? Of the eclipse, until the eclipse is finished. Then after that, from the sunnah, that the imam, because the khutbah reminds the people of the signs of Allah. Not only that, it's commanded to give a sadaqah. Who's amongst you giving a sadaqah on that day? Sadaqah. This is the Prophet gives sadaqah. Tasaddaqu. Sadaqah. And you have a slave, you set slave of faith. And you dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as I said, people are far away from the sunnah.
Takbir, Shaykh?
There's no takbir, no. No takbir. It's not Eid, Shaykh. That's the Eid prayer. Eid prayer is the happiness. You go takbir. This is, you're scared. You'll be running. As for the eclipse, either it's going to be full or partial. And the partial is as well percentage. You could have 80%, 70%, 60%, 50% partial, even 10%. Now, if there's a partial which is about 5%, would you be able to see with your eyes? No. You need what? Special telescope. So the astronomers go, there is a partial. We're not going to listen to them. We're going to see with our eyes. We could see deflection of the light, we pray. No deflection of the light, we don't pray. So it has to be seen with the eyes. It's not with the cameras or with telescopes. We are ummah ummiyah. We are a literate ummah. We don't know the hisab. We don't know the calculation. We know that it's a simple thing. We see with our own eyes, we do it. We don't need to have live link up or a plane on top of the cloud or penetrating telescopes. No. Just with our own eyes. Simple. We see it, we do it. We don't see it, we don't do it. Simple as that. So if the eclipse was partial and can be seen, so this partiality, it as well affects the time. The more full it is, the longer it will be. So if it's full eclipse, it will take longer if it's partial to clear away. So if it is partial eclipse, and it happened, let's say this, the eclipse of the moon and there's the eclipse of the sun. Khusuf and kusuf. But actually khusuf and kusuf can be both. Khusuf means total, kusuf means partial. Let's say we have a qamar, a moon kusuf. You know the scientific idea behind it. That is, if it's an eclipse, you'll find the sun, and then the earth, and in between them in the moon. The moon is blocking the rays of the sun. As for the moon eclipse, you'll find that the earth is between the moon and the sun. So you'll find the moon is full, but yet it's switched off. It's no light, because the earth is blocking the sun rays, or the moon eclipse. So if you had a moon eclipse during the Fajr, between Fajr prayer and between the sunrise, you could see the moon eclipse. Now, if it is full, that means it's going to take a long time to clear. So, which one should I start with? The Fajr prayer or the eclipse? The Fajr prayer. Because if I'm going to pray the eclipse, I might risk going out of the Fajr time. So I start with my Fajr prayer, then I'll do my eclipse prayer. But if it's partial, and it's going to take a bit of time, that if I pray my Fajr, I might risk what? Lose the eclipse. So which one do I start with?
Eclipse.
The eclipse, because it's partial. It's going to take a bit of time. So I pray that half an hour, and then after that I still got time until sunrise, and I pray my Fajr. Do you understand that? That's why, as I said, it's partial and full. This is the benefit of being partial and full. This, as I said, the prayer is supposed to be prayed on the time. Meaning if somebody missed the prayer, he cannot compensate for that prayer. There's no such thing, oh, I missed it, let me do qaza. There's no such thing as called qada. It's exactly like the same thing of somebody had missed the day of Arafah in Hajj. Can he do the day of Arafah the next day? I'm asking. Arafah's finished, it's finished. He has to wait for the following year. Same thing with the eclipse. Eclipse is finished, I can't do anything. It's only during the eclipse time. Eclipse is finished, there's no eclipse prayer. Another issue. The eclipse prayer is supposed to be in the masajid. But if somebody, he was somewhere, he can't come to the masjid, he saw the eclipse, no problem to pray on his own. But it's supposed to be in the jama'ah, they come together. Salatu jami'ah. There's no adhan for it, just a call and idhan. Now after all of that, I asked the brother, what do you want to ask me regarding the
You
eclipse?
answer everything.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, inshallah. So that's a summarization. Lots of things as well related to this issue. But as I said, as for the women, they come to the prayer. We had Aisha, she was praying in the eclipse. Her sister, the older one, Asma, both of them are the daughter of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. She comes and she asks her, what type of prayer is this? What she's praying. She says, what type of prayer is this? Asking her younger sister. So Aisha, she pointed where? To the sun. She pointed at the eclipse. Because she's following the Prophet of Allah. So she joined the prayer. She's in the masjid. She joined the prayer. She joined the prayer. She said, it was too long. And the person, he comes and he thinks that the Prophet of Allah, maybe he did not do ruku'ah. And he made already ruku'ah. This is the second ruku'ah. And then she said, I will almost going to sit down. It's too long. Then I saw beside me a very old woman, sick. And she's still standing up. I was shy. Shy to sit down and leave her standing up. So I standing up. I stood up. But she wants to sit down. And that's the long prayer. In Darmi, they prayed, mashallah, the eclipse, they told me, and they prayed it almost 45 minutes, the whole eclipse period. And even one of them said, my bones are aching, mashallah. And that's an eclipse prayer, because they could see it. All the north had seen it. But all the south, they were cloudy, they couldn't see it. You have to see it. You can't just enough to say, oh, it's a bit dark behind. It's not. You have to see it with your own eyes. Wallahu ta'ala. Inshallah, this is for next time. If we live to see another eclipse, then you know the sunnah of it, inshallah. Fadal.
Because during the eclipse I had to work, so and I was told that I could pray by myself. But then because I didn't see that it was,
There's
it was
no
getting
eclipse.
dark, so I didn't pray.
That's good.
But now, if it happens that I see it, and then I pray, I can't pray 45 minutes. 'Cause I get sacked.
You could pray as much as you can. Yeah, some of the people, they don't know memorize the Quran, but you could pray as much as you can. You could recite قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدْ 100 times, no problem. You prefer you finish it قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدْ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدْ قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ. But if you are working, maybe you can't. You have to do whatever you can.
Sure.
By the way, the eclipse prayer is compulsory.